It's been a week with the Galaxy Book 4 Ultra, and I have some stuff I want to show you already. Let's go. This video is brought to you by Squarespace. Samsung finally started paying attention to high-end laptops last year with the launch of the Book 3 Ultra, which is sitting over there. I used it every day for about 8 months, and it wasn't perfect, but it showed me that Samsung was heading in a direction with ultra-powered flagship laptops. Getting this here was a mission. I want to give a big shout out to Big Apple Buddy. They basically buy stuff from overseas and then ship it worldwide. So I was able to get this from them, and when they sent it over in the box, there was a nice big "hope you enjoy your product" card from the co-owner. So big thank you to them, big shout out. Without them, I wouldn't have it, and without my money too. For some reason, Samsung won't sell laptops in Australia, so this was the way I had to get it. Let's quickly talk about the unboxing experience. Now look, the box is big. It is massive. And you think maybe you're getting this premium high-end unboxing experience. But similar to the phones, it's very minimal in what they give you, which is fine. Like, I don't mind the paper and the materials they're using to wrap the product in. That's good. That's all good with me. It's just, I don't know, something like this with this high-end nature to it, I feel like there should be more. You take the thing out of the box, you get the nice sort of sleeve that it comes in, you get the paper protecting the screen from the keyboard, and that's it. Underneath the laptop there is the charger. Samsung have put in a new 140 watt charger with the Galaxy Book 4 Ultra, and just by eye, it already to me looks bigger than the 100 watt charger from the Book 3 Ultra from last year. And the cable, and then some other stuff. And that's it. Then you've got the laptop. Once it's out, it's time to switch. And I think for me, that's been a bit of a pain point for me, is switching laptops, and in particular Windows laptops. My wife is currently finding that out as she switches from her 10-year-old laptop to the Book 3 Ultra. But as I've found out, it is now way easier. Not only is there the Windows backup option, which pretty much greets you the first couple of steps in the process, Samsung have also built Smart Switch for PC, which operates nearly identically to Smart Switch for phones. Very seamless, very swift to start the process. For Smart Switch, it does take a while though, which I noticed. But once you get into the operating system, everything's pretty much set up as it was. Your folders and your file structures are there. All the B-roll from my old laptop makes its way across. I was overjoyed because it pretty much allowed me to seamlessly just continue working the next day without needing to bring all my files across. So which meant I could start using it straight away. And in the week that I've had it, there's some things that I've noticed that have been upgraded from the Book 3 Ultra that I've really been enjoying. But before I get into the things I've noticed that I've enjoyed, I'm going to start with something that I'm not enjoying, the trackpad. The area looked a little bit more defined when I first started using it. Definitely noticed it a little bit more recessed, even though there's like this sort of even surface area. It's definitely more defined. And the size is still massive. You can see it here next to my hand. It's a massive trackpad. I'm not sure it needs to be this big, because what I've noticed in my usage, and like I did with the Book 3 Ultra, is that I naturally want to rest my palm sort of near and around that area, and it just absolutely wreaks havoc with accidental touches. It was the same situation last year where I just needed to use it at a desk with a mouse. I just couldn't get used to the trackpad the way it was. And still experiencing that with the Book 4 Ultra a week in, so I'm just something I'm going to have to get used to. What makes up for it though is the upgrade to the display. It does look a little bit crisper, even though it's got the same resolution and adaptive refresh rate of the Book 3 Ultra from last year. What is new though is Samsung have got the Vision Booster technology that we see in their smartphones, which helps reproduce colors in different lighting conditions to be a bit more accurate. The big upgrade here is the touchscreen interaction. This is so welcoming. Because of the way we've just grown accustomed to touchscreen interaction with our smartphones, with our tablets, it just makes so much sense to extend that into our laptops. Not that touchscreen laptops haven't been around. They have. Samsung have many and have had many. But I think for an ultra line of laptops though, they haven't had it. So I'm really glad that they've brought it in this year. It just changes the way you can interact. It means you can blend the two, the touch of the keyboard and the touch of the screen. You can meld them together, especially if you're doing things like hosting trivia nights, or if you just want to open files a little bit quicker. It's a bit more natural to do it that way, and I'm glad it's there. But something that needed to be fixed before Samsung could implement this was the hinge. The Book 3 Ultra's hinge was just not up to it. It had this sort of floppiness about it. Not that you noticed it when you were using the keyboard. It was more just when you were lifting it open and just in general moving it around, you noticed it sort of wobble. Samsung have tightened this up completely. I'll do a bit of a deeper side-by-side comparison a little bit later in the video but that has made the touch experience way better. On the keyboard and the other sort of tactile experience that you get, it is very enjoyable to type on. It's got good travel for a keyboard that sits inside a laptop and decent sound. Have a listen. Something that's new is there is the addition of the Windows Copilot key. There's been lots of debate on the internet about this specific key. I enjoy it. I think having a shortcut for something like this, very similar to the shortcut for the Windows key itself. It's not in the way, it's replaced a key that I never personally used myself because it's on the right side, so it kind of mirrors where the Windows key is on the other side. Having this shortcut key will make it more likely that I'll actually utilize these AI functions and the Copilot features. And in my short time with it so far, I've found it to be very snappy and responsive, and something I'm definitely going to implement in one of the things that I do for trivia work that I do. Trivia isn't the only work that I do, it's like a small part of it. The main part is obviously YouTube. And from a performance standpoint, this will more than hold up to it. I'll need more time. The daily stuff I use this for is Premiere Pro and Photoshop, and they are quite sort of taxing on the processor and the GPU. From a comparative level to the Book 3 Ultra, it's probably not fair to compare them because the Book 3 Ultra was the i7, whereas this is the Core 9 Ultra with the NVIDIA 4070 versus the 4050. So there's definitely more power and grunt already in the one that I've got now, so it's not really fair to compare. But isolating this on its own, it's a breeze. Everything sort of flies through. Exporting video is phenomenal. I could export a 12-minute 4K video in under 3 minutes. So that's more than enough for what I need and just helps you save time later on. You're not waiting for your videos to export. This was on battery power too, with the performance profile as balanced. So that's quite impressive that it's able to do that without needing to be plugged in. So it's obviously got a lot of power and a lot of headroom for that power. I had no issues with the timeline. I had no issues with export. Under 3 minutes. Wild. Having a powerful machine is one thing, but having a powerful online presence is another. Today's sponsor, Squarespace, is here to help you out with that. As someone who is looking to extend my digital presence beyond just my channel here at YouTube, I found Squarespace to be the perfect entry point at expanding my digital footprint. The Fluid engine makes it so easy to get started. It allows you to begin with first-class website templates that are easily customizable with every detail. The templates themselves are very flexible, and once you choose your category, in my case, technology, you can customize everything about it. From color scheme all the way through to the layout, you can make it undeniably you and your brand. I have grand ambitions of setting up a tech with benefits shop, and Squarespace is filled with all of the tools that I need to get it up and running. Attached to that as well, they have a flexible payment gateway with many different payment options available for you to set up for you and your customers. I'm working through Squarespace. Now it's your turn. Head to squarespace.com for your own exclusive free trial. And when you're ready to graduate into a full launch, use the URL on the screen now and in the description, and you will save 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Thanks, Squarespace. Kicking along with performance, I do intend to start actually doing some gaming, but it's probably not the intense gaming some might hope me to test. I'm more of a football manager style gamer when it comes to PC, and I haven't played that in years, and namely because I've never really had machines that can run the full database. I have no issues that this will be able to do that. So when I can, I'm absolutely going to install Football Manager and run it at its full potential. It's been some time. The other performance note that I've made is battery life. Now, obviously I know that Windows laptops aren't going to be the battery champion, particularly ones running Intel. That's definitely reserved for MacBooks and their M series chips. I haven't had any issues with battery life on the Book 3 Ultra for what I use it for, and that's extending into the Book 4 Ultra as well. As I mentioned earlier, I do some trivia work. I host trivia every Wednesday night at a local pub, and it's a lot of fun. Part of that needs a presentation. I bring my Book Ultra down and plug it in via HDMI. Starting the night with full battery and then plugging it into both sound and output for video, there's never a worry for me that the battery is going to run below 50%. In fact, it very rarely even gets close to 50. So for me, having the 3 hours plus that it's plugged in, running both video and audio to multiple outputs, I'm not too worried that this is going to die. I do want to try run a full day of working away from my desk with the Book 4 Ultra off battery power. So in my next couple of videos on this thing, I'll try and implement that in and see how it goes. Make sure you subscribe to see that. The other upgrade I've noticed regarding performance and battery is the charging. I mentioned that it comes with a new 140 watt charger, And you do feel that difference, especially in a pinch. Plugging it in and seeing it only take not that long to get back to full is very impressive. So I'm very grateful that that's been a thing on the Book 4 Ultra. In terms of the overall design and the build, it's a laptop. But what it's really impressive is how light and thin it is for the power that it has. With a 4070 GPU and also a Core i9 Ultra, the fact that this weighs under 2 kilograms, wild to me. The thin profile, the fact it's got sturdy materials, very impressive. The design and the way this looks, the aesthetics of this thing are beautiful, especially the big display as well. I touched on it earlier, but the hinge last year wasn't it. Samsung seems to have decided to upgrade this, because what I've noticed, and you can see in the side-by-side, when you open up the Book 3 Ultra and you open up the Book 4 Ultra, you can see that the wobble is non-existent versus the Book 3 Ultra, which kind of wobbles there for a little bit. Even when moving it down, you can notice that it's holding its own place very nicely. Again, the Book 3 Ultra didn't really do that. Both can be opened up one-handed. For me, it's a big win, because the ability to just plonk it down on a table, have my phone in my hand and open it up is great. And I think that's kind of something that a lot of people might not consider. I think a lot of people will, but it's not something you maybe ask the first time you go in to buy a laptop. The port situation is fine. It's the same as last year. You've got HDMI, you've got 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports on the left-hand side, and on the other side, you've got the headphone jack, a full USB-A port, just one, and a micro SD card slot. I would have liked to see 2 USB-A ports, but that's just a selfish want. That's not necessarily a need. You can get dongles, and I've got docks here that help expand that out. It's not the end of the world, but that's what it's got. The thing is, this is a Samsung laptop. So the other aspect is that it has Samsung features. All of the Samsung ecosystem bells and whistles are integrated into the Galaxy Book 4 Ultra. The main one I use is QuickShare, and it never fails me. It is so fast and rapid, and the fact I can get large files from my phone, which I record from, onto my laptop for my editing makes my workflow so seamless. I do have a full video planned where I go through all of the ecosystem features on the Book 4 Ultra that relate to the mobile productivity side of things. So again, hit that subscribe button. Other than that, a week in, there's not much more for me to report. If I didn't need the productivity and creativity for my channel, I probably would have been okay with the Book 4 Pro. But the fact I have that extra headroom for the stuff I actually need to do is great peace of mind. Let me know in the comments if you are thinking about a Galaxy Book 4 product of any variety. Let me know which one it is you're interested in. Let me know if you've got a Book 4 Ultra already. Curious to hear how you're enjoying it, if you've got one. Make sure you hit subscribe. Plenty of Book 4 Ultra content coming. Make sure you go watch a lot of the other videos that I've got on the channel around Samsung. You won't regret it. Come and follow me on all my socials. I've got Twitter/X and also on Instagram. And I'll see you in the next one. You!